This is an example on how to get table data and store it into a CSV without actually downloading anything from web. In the first part of the video, we'll go through how we identify the table pattern before we dig deep on the coding in the second part. Without further ado, let's go. Open the script that we download from GitHub. Here are all the packages we need to extract PDF tables from the web. Now, we need the link that contains the PDF. I'm looking for Schedule 100 from Revenue Canada. Yours might be different, so just tweak it accordingly. Here on page 2, let's say if I want to grab this table, I can simply grab the URL and paste that to my script. Here I'm creating a variable to see if I can access the link. I just forgot the get in between, so just add it back and print it out to see what we get. If it shows 200, that means you're getting response from the web. Let's turn the URL result into bytes. Okay, here let me add the .content and create a PDF object to read the source byte. Now we need to specify the page that contains the tables we want to extract. Let me get back to the URL and make sure it's on the second page. This table. So it's one here. Then create a table object to hold all the tables in that page. Let me see what we get. Here you see a big chunk of thing. And if you take a look at the original PDF and match that to our target table, this line is this one, current assets. This one, accounts description, and field code is this line on the PDF. Anything after is the data. Here we can use the len function to find out the total number of tables. 7. So let me check if we have 7 tables on the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say if we want to extract the first table, so inside the square bracket, we put 0. When you print it out, that's the result. Dig out the original PDF link. Here's account description. Is this one on the PDF, including the field code, cash and deposits, is this line. The last one, total current assets, is here, the code 5099. Okay, here let me define the column heads and data rows. The column head is the second item of the table 1 object. So when you print it out, you should get this. Let's move on to the data. I put 2 here as it should start from the third item. Let's check it out if I'm right. The first one, cash and deposits, and the last one, total current assets.
We are going to create a data frame called df to put everything from the column heads and table data to a data frame df, and then we'll export it to a CSV. Okay, let's create the table data frame df. It is the PD data frame. For the rows, which is the horizontal one, is the table data. Okay, and the columns equal column heads. So let me print out DF to see what we get. So we should, oh, how come? I see. Typo here, table 1, okay, F5, and this time we should get, yep. So let me check if I'm right. Under the current assets, we extract the column head, account description, and field code, then the account names, cash and deposits, all the way to total current assets. For the field code, let's say if I print df.dtypes, F5 to run it, then you should see the field code column has the data type object, which is not numeric. That's not what we want because we can do some like filtering, some kind of things in the next process. Let's say if we want to filter out those accounts that is between 1500 and 2000, that's why we want numerical type of data for field code. So if we want to change that, we can just assign the column, which is field code equals, and we can just do this, the field code column dot as type. And this time, let me put a single quote to wrap around the integer 32. I'm trying to change that to an integer type of data. Okay, let me try that. So this time, the field code is now integer 32. That's basically printing only one table, right? Okay, so let's say if we want to export this table to CSV, what we can do is just export table 1 to CSV. Okay, that's the command. And we can simply dot to CSV, bracket, and then fill in the file path that you want to save the CSV. Let me just call it output file, and it's equal to, let's say I just put it to my USB in my G drive, and I called it my CSV.csv. Okay, so we output that to output file, and if I run it, F5, let me check if I got the file. My underscore CSV, let me just press that and just open that in Excel. All right. So that's the table that we get from the PDF. We are just extracting the data from this table to Python, and then we export that to the CSV file. Okay, so that's just for one table. Okay, so in the next video, we'll be extracting multiple tables from a PDF file online without saving this PDF to your local drive. Okay, so stay tuned.